How would your lineup compare there, Mr. Alex?
Well, I wanted a lineup that would make that everyone would hate, so that would make your blood boil and pull your hair.
So the 2012 Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, true enough. I could have done that. But for the sake of fun, first off, I've got Bobby Clarke of the Broad Street Bullies, one of the greatest centers to play the game with over 1,200 points. He was a 3-time league MVP and a 2-cup champ. Skilled, kind of dirty, not the dirtiest on the Broad Street Bullies, but he could piss you off.
Yeah, he always hid behind Dave Schultz.
Yeah.
You should have stuck him on your team here.
But his teammates loved and respected him, and he could hold his own in a fight. But on right wing, I got Terry O'Reilly, Bloody O'Reilly, or as Phil Esposito called him, Taz, for Tasmanian Devil. He was a bit of a savage, to put it mildly. He had over 200 penalty minutes in 5 consecutive seasons and over 2,000 overall, and he loved to fight.
Good Lord.
He'd either love to fight to defend his teammates or people in the crowd. It just depended on the night, I guess.
Yeah, wasn't he involved in the that fight up in the stands when Milbury took the shoe to the fan?
Yeah, one of those ones. And yeah, he had over 200 goals, 600 points overall, and a little under 900 games. So I think he's one of all the enforcers that have come through the league. He's one of the better ones. And then on the left side, I know it's a bit of an odd choice, but I wanted to include at least one active NHL player, and that's Milan Lucic.
Ooh.
I mean, Lucic in his prime was a monster. I mean, 6'3", 235 pounds, could skate okay, but also hit everything that moved, and nobody wanted to fight him.
Like O'Reilly, he was good in Boston, but he hasn't done jack since he left and went to LA and then Edmonton, now Calgary. But hey, you're the Flames homer, so you add the newest member. I like it.
Well, if he's in his prime, I'll take him. He was a 50 to 60 point guy, but he loved hitting. And even in his old age, last year he had over 250 hits in the league. So compared that to, say, James Neal, who he's just traded with, and he had around 40 to 50. So he can still...
You're throwing shade at James Neal here.
Oh, maybe.
Who do you got on D?
On defense, I got Chris Pronger, one of the best defensemen of his era, but one of the dirtiest. He was suspended 8 times for pretty much anything you can think of. Slashes to the face, headshots, knees, pretty much everything you wouldn't want in a player, but he was extremely good. He has a couple Olympic gold medals. He was the first player since Bobby Orr to win a Hart Trophy, and he was the captain of the Ducks, Blues, and Flyers, so I thought that was pretty fitting.
I got a puke on Pronger. I hate that guy. Every time I saw him, I hated him. It was a shame that McInnes had to play with him in St. Louis.
Oh, he was a terrible player. And like in terms of his antics, highly skilled, but holy crap, he was something else.
Just terrible to play against, because you knew he was going to hurt somebody on your team, and you knew he was probably going to get on the score sheet, and there was nothing anybody could do about it, because that's the kind of guy he was. Just a D-bag, but good at hockey.
The only good thing about him is he was drafted by the Whalers, and he had no control over that.
And I have him supported by Marty McSorley, a player that Wayne Gretzky himself allegedly wanted to be traded with him to the Kings. He has over 270 fights in 17 seasons. He's 4th all-time in penalty minutes with nearly 3,400. Production was nothing crazy with him. He had 359 and 961 games, but that's not why I picked him. He could pretty much defend anyone on his team everyone's already a really tough asshole, to put it mildly.
I like the twist you're taking on this with the tough guys and the fighters. It's good to see some goons. Like, that's what today's NHL needs, is some fights.
I don't think any lineup today could go against that lineup, because they would all die in 30 seconds. They'd turn their back once, one guy would get cross-checked, and they'd be scared.
I'd have to hope that the rest of the teams could, because they'd all be in the penalty box, I think. And so to round out this round of misfits, I got Patrick Waugh. I loved him not because he was an amazing goalie that won 4 Stanley Cups and played over 1,000 games, but it was because of his odd attitude and bite. He would never talk to reporters or newscasters on game days. He'd avoid letting his skates touch the blue and red lines, and he would talk to his goalposts.
So now, does him losing a fight to Vernon kind of affect your decision on Waugh? Because you got a bunch of scrappers here.
No, I wanted a good loon bag roster.
I like it. That fits very well. I love Patrick Waugh flashing the leather, winking the eye. He was something special.
I don't know. I don't like your team very much. They're quite physically imposing, and even if you get past all of that grit and sandpaper, you're left with the brick wall that is Waugh. That's some good roster construction right there. That's the Montreal way.
It's not just grit sandpaper, it's bare knuckles to the face. I don't know how Fedorov and McGillney and Ovi would stack up.
Well, the only one who's going to do okay is Ovi, because he's bigger than all of them somehow.
Yeah, he'll one-punch wonder somebody and everybody will get upset. Ovi fought a tough guy, and he knocked him out. This isn't fair, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't have a caveman fight a regular human. It doesn't work that well.
You'd have Pronger just take his eye out or something.
I forgot about Pronger.
You get all that strength by eating your Ovios.
True enough.